So I've had a whole lot of questions about my smart lock here, so let me tell you a little bit about it. This is the August Smart Lock. It's a smart home connected smart lock that you can control from anywhere on your phone. So before we talk about the August specifically, let's just talk about smart locks in general. So what a smart lock is, it's a lock that connects to the internet and allow you to control it through multiple different ways, whether it's through your phone, through automations, or through your smart home. So if you see my videos before, you know I'm a huge smart home nerd, and I always say after you've got your smart lights hooked up, the next best smart home device you can get is a smart lock. It generally makes your life so much easier by having this thing. Once you have it in your smart home, you can automate it to do things like lock and unlock when you leave or come home. You can unlock it with your voice if you got your hands full with groceries. You can lock it if you forgot to lock it when you left home. You can let guests in if you're away from the house. They honestly just offer so much functionality. I could do a video on all those automations the way I use it later on, but let's check out the August. So the first thing you'll notice is it looks nothing like a regular lock. However, it does function like one. While you can open and close it with your voice or with your smart home, you can also turn it just as you would a normal lock. The reason it's so bulky like this is because all the electronics are contained within this little cylinder. So the reason why it's so bulky on this side is actually one of my favorite features of the lock, and that is that it's only replacing the lever side of the lock on this side of the door. Everything on the other side of the door, the keyway and all the stuff facing outside, is totally untouched. So because we're only changing on this side of the lock and the deadbolt stays the same, it actually means you get to keep the same keys, which is huge, especially for people like me who live in an apartment and you can't change things on the outside of the door, or especially cases where your landlord has to have access to the building, you can't change their keys. This thing is the perfect solution. It also means that install is super easy. Literally all you have to do is pop out a few screws on this side, slap the lock on, and you're done. In fact, I'll show you how easy it is. All right, so I popped the lock off here. Install is super easy. All you have to do is take the screws out on your existing lever, screw this bracket in place. This is the lock piece. It literally just pops on, clamps down with no tools, and then you're done. The lock runs off 4 AA batteries, which you can access by popping off the cover here. The battery life is great. It's around 6 months, and I've never had a problem with changing them. And that's the August lock. I absolutely love the thing. It works with all the different smart home environments. I'm only skimming the surface on how I utilize these things. Smart locks are great. I use them in all my smart home automations. There are a lot more options coming on the market for a lot more advanced smart lock technology, things with key cards, things that are totally hidden in the door, things with taps. I will be looking at all those, so stay on the lookout for those. But for now, I absolutely love this thing. If you're interested in purchasing it or anything in my other videos, check out the link in my bio. I also make other cool smart home videos if you're into this stuff. So post me a follow if you like that. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Let's talk a little bit more about one of my favorite smart home devices, and that's my DIY electric smart home connected blinds. These babies. All right, really quick refresher for those who didn't see the last video. These things are called SOMA Smart Shades. They're a really dope little box. They're literally like smaller than my fist. They attach to any blind that has like this cord style. There's a little motor in here that spins this, and it's super dope. It basically automatically puts the blind up and down to any point you want it. Super easy to set up and amazing to use. They're fully connected to all smart home environments, and I absolutely love them. So as much as I love these things, in my last video, you guys pointed out 2 very valid concerns with them. 1, they are pretty noisy, and 2, they move pretty slowly. Let me show you here. Hey Siri, open all of the blinds. You'll see they move at a decent pace, but it is pretty sluggish. Now, apparently there are a new model of these, the SOMA Smart Shades 2. They actually saw my last video and sent these over. It's not sponsored by them or anything, but pretty much apparently they're 4 times faster. They also have a quiet mode, so they can go down really quietly. So we're gonna use this opportunity to install these in, kind of show you guys how they work and how easy they are to install. And then we'll go ahead and test them out and see if they're any better than what I have now. So let's get to it. All right, so I got 3 of them here for all 3 of my blinds. Let's just open these up and see what's inside. All right, so it looks pretty much identical to the older model, just the box with the adhesive, stick it on the wall, solar panel to charge it if you want to do that, USB cable to charge it if you want to do that. These things have a battery life of like a few months, and then this extra blind cord, which we're not going to use because we're just going to put it on our existing one. All right, so we've got our blind cord here that manually controls the blind. We've got our SOMA Smart Shade 2 here. Pull the cover off. You'll see this little gear here. We're going to unscrew that screw and put that chain into this little cog. We'll do that and I'll show you the result after. All right, so we've got the chain in on the gear there. We'll put this cover back on here, and then we just have to sticky tape it to the wall, and then the setup is done. Literally that easy. So it took me about 2 minutes to calibrate it in the app where you set it to the top and the bottom. Now this one's ready to use. Let's set up the other 2 and then we'll test them out. All right, about half an hour later, we're all hooked up here, and let's see how quickly they go. Hey Siri, close the blinds. Oh, that's literally like significantly faster than the other ones. All right, these are dope. And you see they're all closing there automatically, just as I asked them to. Pretty happy with that. So I'm super happy with those. They are still a little bit noisy when running at full speed like that, but the rate they open and close there, it takes like 4 or 5 seconds for our blinds to fully open and close. Super hyped about it, and they do have this really dope morning mode where you can set them to go really slow like you're seeing here. So if I have them automated to open up in the morning, for example, I obviously don't want to hear that waking up. So you can set it this morning mode where it really slowly, gradually opens up the blind and you never even know what's happening. I have a whole bunch of other ways I use these in my smart home automations too. If you want to see all those, let me know and I'll make a video on it. But yeah, super happy with this little upgrade for my SOMA. Pretty simple, very similar to my old ones, just so much faster. All right, another quick look at the accessories now that we got it all hooked up here. The solar panel being the main one, what you can do is adhesive it to the window like this, and then plug the cord into the SOMA Smart Shades, and it'll pretty much be infinitely powered and you'll never have to plug it in and charge it. But like I said, alternatively, you can get the main charging cord, plug it in, charge it for an hour or two every month or two, and you'll be totally fine. The other option is this thing called the SOMA Connect. What this basically does is allow you to connect it to all your smart home devices. By default, it only works directly with the cell phone app, but if you buy this little SOMA Connect box, you're gonna be able to automatically tie it into all of your smart home like I have it in mine. Anyway, if you already have the blinds with like the little pull cord that I have there, I'd highly recommend getting one of these things. It's honestly one of the coolest smart home devices I have. It makes the whole job so much easier going down and opening and closing all the blinds. I'll link these guys in my bio if you're interested in purchasing them. Super easy to set up and super dope to automate. Like I said, if you guys are interested, I'll make a bunch of more videos on how I automate these things. But other than that, thanks for watching and I appreciate all of you.